Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to another video. So I just thought I would film my everyday makeup for you and a little bit, sort of like a get ready with me basically. I asked you guys to send me in some questions on Instagram for me to answer while I was doing it. So yeah, I have literally just done this makeup look for you now. This is basically like my go-to everyday makeup whether I'm shooting or filming or I've got like some errands to run, that sort of thing. So yeah, I'm going to show you how I get this look and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, right. I'm just going to clip my hair away from my face because those little bits of hair love to disrespect me and stick to my face when I'm doing my makeup. So let's just get rid of these little bad boys. Okay, there we go, ready for a face of makeup. First thing I'm going to do, actually I'm not going to do that, I'm lying. I'm going to just put some clear brow gel on my brows. I'm going to use the Refi brow gel. This is an absolute new favourite of mine. It is bloody brilliant. If you've not tried the Refi brow products, I highly recommend that you do. They're so good. Like, guys, this is coming from someone that would put hair gel on my eyebrows to make them stay up all day. And I'm telling you, this is better. So don't put hair gel on your eyebrows. So as I was saying, I asked you guys to send me some questions. So I'm just going to kick off with these now. So the first one I had was, how are you? How are you feeling? I feel like you're getting back on track. Yeah, I'd say I'm feeling good. I took a little break from vlogging earlier in the year. I think that's what she's like referring to, just because I was not in a very good place. I felt very down, very low. I just had a lot of stuff going on that meant that when it came to doing like vlogs and showing my life, it just wasn't feasible. I just needed to not put that stuff out on the internet and just kind of like deal with it and sort myself out a little bit. But yeah, now everything is fine. I'm feeling so much better, in so much more of like a better head space. But no, things are just a lot better than they were. I'm just going to use the By Terry Brightening CC Serum as a base today. This stuff just makes your face, gives your face just a little bit of a tan. My face is just always paler than my body, so can you see how it just gives you that little bit of a boost, a little bit of a kiss of life, which is definitely what my skin needs at the moment. But yeah, I'm definitely feeling like a hell of a lot better, and the things that were kind of going wrong back then are resolved. Like, I'm no longer going through them. Okay, next one. There's actually been a few of these questions, so I'm just gonna get it out of the way with early on in the video before I've got all my makeup on my face. Let's just get the doom and gloom out the way. But there was a lot of you asking how Ranger is, how I've been getting on since like my hand injury, and all of that stuff. For those of you guys that don't know, Ranger was my horse, who I got at the very beginning of the year. I did show him on my channel, and yeah, and then I just stopped showing things with him. Right, just before I get into this, I'm going to do my base makeup and I'm going to spend a lot of time doing it, and I'm going to remain composed. I'm not going to get upset. So I'm going to use the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. And then what I've been really enjoying doing is mixing it in with the NARS Tinted Moisturiser. So I use the shade Stromboli in the foundation, and then I use the shade Santiago in the moisturiser. I tend to always go for a darker shade in tinted moisturisers because they're not full coverage. I like them to give you a little bit of colour but keep it sheer, if that makes sense. So this almost acts like a little bit of a face tan for me, I'm not going to lie. Which today I feel like I'm needing a little bit of a boost. So I'm just going to put that on. I'm using the Morphe M439 and I'll just put them both literally onto the brush and just go in. So yeah, if you have been like watching my vlogs, you will have seen him in them, and then you will have seen that I stopped vlogging as well, and then obviously just stopped showing like that side of things. By the way, I'm not going to go into full detail on here because at the end of the day it's nobody's business, literally nobody's business. But yeah, he's no longer with me. Things went wrong with him health-wise. Let's just say I think there's a lot of dishonest people in this world, or in the horse industry. There definitely is. In a way, I'm kind of glad that he came to me, because I think a lot of people would have just kept on passing him from pillar to post and selling him on without actually investigating what was wrong with him. But it did become apparent something wasn't right. He baffled a couple of vets, but yeah, it wasn't right, and in the end it turned out that it wasn't a kind thing to kind of keep him in ridden work. The issue was with his back, and as you know, with horses you sit on their back to ride them. So yeah, it was a very kind of emotionally draining, financially draining, very, very testing couple of months. It just kind of felt like at the time that I couldn't just catch a break with things. Let's remain composed. Overall, it was all really just upsetting and not something, and quite hard, because like when you show your life on Instagram or on YouTube, and once you've shown something kind of like that in your life and then suddenly don't talk about it, people naturally are obviously going to ask. And I know it's always with like good intentions of like, how are you getting on? But it was just not something I wanted to talk about. It's still not something I want to talk about, to be honest. And I'll never go into the full details, because I think the problem is when you share too much with the internet, people almost feel like it's their divine right to know everything. So yeah, I am going to keep most of it to myself, but yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. He's no longer with me, and I didn't expect it to happen. So yeah, that is literally all I'm ever going to say on the matter. I'm not going to speak about it again. I'm not going to put it on my Instagram. I'm never ever going to talk about it. Like, it's a chapter that's closed now. So yeah, that is that. And that is the only bit of sadness I'm going to bring to this video, because I feel like so far it's been a little bit doom and gloom. I hope you're still watching. So let's move on to the next question. Was going self-employed nerve-wracking, or did you have knowledge about it before doing it? So I went self-employed 2 years ago now. It was nerve-wracking, but not as much as it was really exciting. Like, I was absolutely buzzing about doing it. I'm not gonna lie, I hated my job. It wasn't even 9 to 5, it was 9 till 6 for me. It was horrible. But like, I hated having a boss. I didn't like going to an office every day, didn't like reporting to people. And at the time, I'm using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Canal. And at the time, I was trying to juggle doing, I didn't do YouTube at that point, but I did Instagram, and I was trying to juggle shooting all of my content on the weekends to last me for the week. Plus, I was growing, so I was starting to get sort of new like opportunities coming my way. It got to the point where I was like, I'm actually going to have to start saying no to these like opportunities that are coming at me through Instagram because of work and because of this job that I actually don't really care about that much. I worked in medical sales, and I was just like, I just didn't want to do it. I didn't want to be there. I just wanted to get home and do my Instagram stuff. Honestly guys, there were so many times where I would throw a sickie to do stuff. I remember Pretty Little Thing. Actually no, the funniest was, oh my god, I got invited to go away on my first ever brand trip. It was with Abbott Lyon, and it was to Marbella. And there was a couple of people going that I knew, like in the industry, and I'd never been invited to go away on a trip before. And I was like, oh my god, yeah, like free holiday to Marbella. Who would want to turn that down? And I was literally going to shoot loads of content for them. Right, I've just turned the brightness up because it was going a little bit dark. Thanks for that, camera. But yeah, I was going and shooting loads of content for them. I'm just going to set that concealer, by the way, with the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. Little tip for when you're putting this on, put some on your damp beauty blender like this, and then just tap off. Oh my god, that all came on my face. Right. And then just tap off the excess, and then go in and set your under eye, and it just sets it so it looks so much more flawless. Doesn't like crease up, doesn't go cakey or weird or anything like that. It's blooming beautiful. I like to just take it down like my smile lines as well. So obviously I needed to request time off work for this trip, and we had this like program where you could log in, you could see who else was going to be off that day, and basically now it was kind of like an unwritten rule. If 2 people were already off during like a period of time, your holiday request would 100% be declined. So at this time, I think there was 2 people off and a manager off, and I was like, yeah, absolutely no chance. I'm not getting that week off. So I was like, well, I want to go, so I'm gonna have to call in sick. So I went on this trip, and the morning of the first day, I'm just gonna contour my face. I'm using the Nude Sticks like cream bronzer in the shade Deep 8. Couldn't read then. Deep 8. So on the first day of this trip, I'm there in the bathroom of this villa with all these girls, just like pretending to be sick, being like, I'm really sorry, I'm just so not well, I'm gonna have to like not come in, I'm really sorry. And then obviously because I was on this trip and it's for Instagram, we had to get like stories while we're out there, and I was like, well, I can't put things on my stories because I've told work that I'm sick. And if they look at, I know like a couple of people that I work with followed me, and I hadn't told anyone that I was going on this trip. So I blocked everyone from work from being able to see my Instagram. And I was just like, right, I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna keep telling them I'm sick. And that's what happened. I had the time of my life. And then the funniest thing was, when I got back to work, I'd forgot to block one person. HR called me into a meeting. Guys, honestly, they called me into a meeting, sat me down and basically said, we have reason to believe that you weren't ill and that you were on holiday. And I was like, what are you talking about? Guys, this was like the biggest blag of the century. They were like, we know that someone saw you posting on your Instagram in Marbella, and this was like mid-June time, and I was literally sat there on the spot and I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna say, what am I gonna do? And I was just like, yeah, you know, Instagram isn't like real life. I was like, I went to Marbella over the bank holiday weekend, so obviously like the May Day bank holiday weekend. I was like, I went there over the May Day bank holiday weekend with a brand, and they have to approve all the stories and then you post them later. I was like, I wasn't posting in real time, obviously not. And they believed it. Yeah, when you start doing things like that in your job, that's when you think, right, I'm gonna have to probably make a decision. So yeah, it was like, there was a couple of things. I remember Pretty Little Thing asked me to go in and do something with them. I had to call in sick because they declined my time off. And it was just, and I have no regrets about doing any of this, by the way. I know I probably sound like I'm a really bad employee for doing it, but sometimes when you just, you know, you're getting these opportunities, I'm not going to say no. And I'm so glad I didn't say no. So yeah, going self-employed, I was just so excited. I loved handing in my notice. Best feeling in the world. There was no sadness from me that day. I was literally like, see ya, never ever going to come back. I'm 100% going to make this work for myself. And I did, and I'm so glad I did. Don't get me wrong, there were people around me, even like people close to me, that were a bit iffy about it and a bit unsure. You know, when you tell someone some news like, woohoo, I'm leaving my job to do this full time, and it's not the warm reception you are wanting. There was a few people that were a little bit like, really? In those situations, you've just got to be like, yeah, and it's 100% going to work. And it has, so I'm very, very glad. Absolutely no regrets. But yeah, it was very scary. And one thing I would say is that don't do it without being prepared. So I waited until I was earning more through doing this. 3 months in a row I earned more doing this than my full-time job. And when it got to that point, that was at the point where I was like, now I'm going to quit. Now it's a little bit more consistent, because this isn't a consistent job. You don't earn the same amount of money each month. You have good months, you have bad months. You've got to make sure that those good months can kind of cancel out the bad. So what I didn't want to do was leave when I just had like a few bad months and be screwed and not be able to pay my mortgage after a month of being self-employed. I'm not gonna lie, the first few months were hard. Like, it was a little bit tight. I wasn't like swimming in money and opportunities, and I had to cut back on things, but it was so worth it because I was so happy, like so happy. Okay, next question. That was a good question. What cut do you ask for? I'm obsessed. I take it you mean haircut. So when I go to the hairdressers, she obviously just knows what I want to do, and I've been going to her for years now. But if you just go to your hairdressers, the best thing to do is to take a picture, to be honest. But I would say my hair is a blunt lob, so a blunt long bob. But it's actually like really growing at the minute. growing it a little bit longer than I'd usually have it. A blunt lob, but best thing I'd say is take a picture in. You can take my picture in as well, that's absolutely fine. What is the hardest part of your job? Right, I'm just going to add a little bit of powder bronzer over where I've like cream contoured my face. I'm just going to use the Tarte one. So what is the hardest part of your job? I think it depends. I think there's a few things that can make it difficult. Number one, you've got to have a thick skin. Like you just have. You've got to understand that with sharing things about yourself on the internet, as much as we'd like to think that everyone is a nice person, there are some just really not very nice people that really just want to make you feel rubbish about yourself. So that can be hard sometimes, because like some people will leave the most vile comment and I'm just like, in what frame of mind are you in to leave that on a stranger's profile? So that can be hard. I'd also say it is quite mentally taxing. As in, you've got to, as much as people think it's just taking pictures, there's a lot to think about. There's a lot of there's a big like creative side of it. There's a lot of pressure to come up with content and always be switched on. And like when I didn't feel very good at the start of the year, I had this overwhelming guilt that I wasn't able to do my job properly because of it. It's like if I'd have still been working in the office where I was before, I would have been able to just go into work with no makeup, sit at my desk, not speak to anyone, have my cup of tea and biscuits and get my work done. Whereas with this job, you can't just do that. I have got to put makeup on, I have got to go out and take pictures when I don't really feel like it. I have got to do videos when I don't really feel like it, or I don't earn money. I also think trying to get downtime is hard because a lot of what you do is from your phone, but I think people think because this is my job, I'm always at the end of the phone, I'm always there. So that can be quite hard to navigate, like in your personal life. And yeah, I'd say with the job comes a little bit of judgment from people, but that judgment, it honestly just comes from a place of lack of understanding. Like obviously you get that stick of it's not a real job, and I'm just like, what do you class as a real job? What is a real job? I earn money and pay taxes and that's it. Like what is the difference? And the funniest thing is, you know, if someone throws at you what you do is not a real job, you always get people throwing at you, you know, think of the nurses and the firemen and the policemen that contribute to society, and I'm like, you do realise you've just named about 0.5% of jobs that exist. Like, yes, I'm not a nurse, yes, of course I'm not a fireman, firewoman, but neither are you. And like probably neither is your best mate and neither is them. That doesn't mean their job isn't real. Do you know what I mean? Like I used to sit in the phones and sell medical supplies. Is that a real job? I'm sure a robot could have done it, but I think it's getting better in terms of like that sort of thing. Right, now I'm feeling nice and bronzed. I'm gonna go with a bit of cream blush. Oh my god, this is my new obsession, guys. This is from Mitchell's brand. So it's made by Mitchell and it's his liquid blusher. This is chef's kiss, incredible. This is the shade Melon Sorbet. It is so beautiful. I'm just going to put a couple of dabs on my cheek like that, and I'll just go in my ring finger and press that in. This is the most gorgeous sort of like pinky, corally, just a beautiful colour. Wow, can you see that colour? It is stunning. I basically just put it a little bit higher than where I do my bronzer. I also like to use this in the centre of my lips, sometimes over my lipstick, because as I said, the colour is just beautiful. And then I put a little bit just over my nose. I just like to have all of like the colours on my face just blending together. Okay, that will do. Can you see that just gorgeous little pop of like corally pink? And then I'm going to go in with liquid highlighter. This is from Refi again. This is my absolute fave. It's so good. But yeah, I think I went on a bit of a tangent with that one about what is the hardest part of my job. And when I say that, guys, this isn't me saying my job is so hard. Every job has its challenges and its hard points. But I feel like sometimes when you speak about the hard points in this job, people love to throw at you, your job isn't hard, I do this, I work 20 hours a day. And I'm like, whoa, I didn't say it was harder than your job. I'm just saying there are hard points, there are good points, and that is it. So yeah, I'd say those are like the trickier elements of what I do. How are you dealing with your Invisalign? I've just started mine. I'm looking for hints and tips. So I'm not actually wearing them to film this video. I'm a little bit naughty, but really well. I've been really enjoying them. I'm not gonna lie, the first 2 days is the hardest. Oh my god, those first 2 days of Invisalign, I was crying in pain. I'm not ashamed to admit, because god, that was painful. It's such a weird feeling. It just makes your teeth feel so wobbly, and then there's no like relief from the pain. Like, you take them out, it's almost like you feel like if you take your Invisalign out, it's gonna be like taking your bra off, and it'll be like, oh, that's better. But you take them out and there's still excruciating pain, and your teeth feel like they're wobbly. You can't really bite anything. I struggled to actually eat a slice of toast the first day I had them done, because I felt like if I was going to bite down, all my teeth were going to fall out. Not the best feeling in the world when you're trying to eat. But now, guys, actually, as I'm filming this, I finished my Invisalign course this week. They're so much straighter. So yeah, if it's something that you're thinking about doing, 100% go for it. I was so worried that they were going to be like a huge inconvenience, but I can't like explain how quick you just get used to them, and it just becomes like part of your normal day. So yeah, if it's something you're considering, 100% go for it. A couple of hints and tips. Your dentist may or may not give these to you anyway. I don't know if they all do, but they're called chewies. It's almost like a hard piece of like rubber. So when you've got your Invisalign in, you can put it in your mouth and just chew on it, and it helps the Invisalign kind of sit and get more just comfortable in your mouth. And I will say the first couple of days when it's really hurting, that really helped me, just being able to bite down on something. And then with me, I was changing my Invisalign trays every week, and I will say the first day of like a new tray, your mouth just feels really tight and they feel quite big in your mouth. But as I said, like, the pros 100% outweigh the cons when it comes to Invisalign. Like, I got used to mine so quickly, and you start to see results really quickly. Like, I was amazed how just after like 2 or 3 weeks, I would take my Invisalign out and look at my teeth in the mirror, and I was like, oh my god, that tooth has moved, and that one looks different. My mouth was feeling different. So yeah, 100% go for it. Well, I'm not sure what's happened to my hair, but my clip did not want to stay in there. Let's get that back in there. There we go. Right, I'm just going to finish off my brows now. I'm going in with a Refi pencil in the shade medium, and I'm just going to like fill in just a few little sparse areas. I need my mirror for this, so sorry if I can't really show you what I'm doing, but I just like to add in a few strokes. Okay, I might as well answer the next question while I'm doing my eyebrows. How did you and Dion meet? So the first time we actually met was we were both out shooting. She was out shooting with Rachel. I was shooting with Andy. Basically, I spotted their car. We were on the same street, and I knew of Dion and Rachel through Instagram anyway. So I just went up and said hi, and that was officially the first time we met. But I'd say the time we properly met and really got to know each other and became good friends, we were both out for dinner with our boyfriends, and the waitress, so I was already there with mine, and then the waitress came and sat Dion and her boyfriend down literally at the table right next to us. So there was literally hardly any space between us. And then we all 4 of us just kind of got chatting, and then after we all finished our meals, we went out for a few drinks after, and the rest is history. Me and Dion were just very good friends after that point. Okay, now my brows are done. I'm going to just draw on a little winged eyeliner with some eyeshadow. I don't like using liquid eyeliner, to be honest. To be honest, I don't like using it full stop. It scares me, and I'm really out of practice with it, but day to day I just find using like an eyeliner using an eyeshadow just looks a little bit less harsh. So I'm just going in with a dark brown eyeshadow. This, I'm going to use the Lava Rock shade from the Vive eyeshadow palette. So, and I just use a little, there we go, a little angled brush like that. Okay, someone's asked, first of all, love your style and content, thank you very much. What do you use to edit your photos if you edit them? So I don't actually like over edit any of my photos. I don't use filters or anything like that. Right, I can't actually talk while I'm doing this bit, so I'm gonna just quickly do my wings, then I'll be back. Okay, so wings are done. I just done a little dark brown wing like that. So mascara time, I'm gonna use the L'Oreal Telescopic, honestly one of my absolute faves. But yeah, I don't like use filters or anything. The trick to getting good photos, honestly, is shooting in good light. If your photos are shot in good light, that literally takes out the need to do any editing to them. So yeah, I don't use filters or anything. I just shoot in very good light, and then I might use like Facetune to patch tool a few things. I don't know. If there's someone in the background, I'll just get them out because I don't want them in the background. And then what I usually do then is I go on Lightroom, and this is probably just an over the top way of doing this, but I just change the size of my photo on there to the ratio of 4:5, which is what Instagram is. That just stops Instagram from like compressing your photos and making them really rubbish quality, just so that when you upload them they look super clear and nice. And yeah, that's all I tend to do. I might like adjust, maybe the photo might look a little bit warm. If it was really like sunny that day, I might cool it down a little bit so I don't look like too yellow or orange. Yeah, I don't, as I said, no filters or anything like that. I'm just not, personally it's not my vibe, not the biggest fan of them. But yeah, that is basically all I do. And another question I've had is, how do you pitch to brands in emails? I'm not gonna lie, I don't pitch. I personally don't send out emails to brands I want to work with. I also have a management, so I don't really speak directly to the brands when it comes to like arranging collabs and that kind of thing. But what I would say is, if you are gonna do that, you need to show them why they should work with you. So send them examples of like good performing posts. Make sure that like your Instagram is looking good. Your Instagram page, when it comes to like pitching to brands, is like your shop window. They're going to take one look at it and decide whether or not that's the kind of content they want to be producing. And if you're uploading blurry mirror selfies where the mirror's all dusty, you can barely see the outfit and there's mess everywhere behind you, they're probably not going to want to work with you, because it just looks very messy and it looks like you've not put any effort into it. That's what I would say. Put yourself in the shoes of them and ask yourself, would I want to work with me? Okay, and finally, the part where all the makeup comes together. Best part ever, lips. So lip liner I'm going to use today is MAC Strip Down, and I like to overline like the centre at the bottom and then the centre at the top. And then what I also like to do is just go in with a slightly darker lip liner. So I use the Morphe Bite Me and just go over the centre at the top and bottom again. Right, last question that I'm going to answer, and it is, okay, last question I'm going to do, and it is, would you ever do Love Island? So I was actually asked to do Love Island, was it 2 years ago? It was actually the season that Molly May, was that season 4 or season 5? I think it was season 5. It was a season that Molly May was on. I was asked to go to like the audition, the interview. I was asked to go to that part, and obviously I didn't. But would I ever actually do it? No, I don't think I would. I have nothing against the show and I do enjoy watching it, you know, I get a kick out of it. I personally preferred watching Love Island back in the day, like season 1, 2 and 3, when, you know, like when they could just drink and smoke and they showed more and it just felt very real, and it wasn't all of this, can I pull you for a chat, can we do it? You know, it all just feels a bit, don't you think Love Island just feels so forced now? Like, I preferred watching it back then. I don't know if I'd have gone on it back then, because I think some of the stuff they used to show back then is like career destroying. I mean, I would be mortified at the thought of me having sex being on TV. I would literally be mortified. But yeah, I enjoy watching it, but I don't think it's for me. I think especially now, I do feel like the producers do kind of edit the show to make you feel a certain type of way about people, and I would worry, like if I went on, I would honestly worry like, how the hell am I coming across to people, because that's a lot of opinions to get formed about you overnight, do you know what I mean? And it's out of your control pretty much. I've just used, by the way, the Anastasia Beverly Hills lipstick in the shade Nude. And then I think in terms of makeup, I think that is it. That is pretty much what I do day to day. I am quickly going to go and do my hair and change my outfit, and then I'll be back. And that is it, guys. That is my finished makeup for the day. I've just done my hair, put my outfit on for the day. So yeah, this is basically like my go-to everyday makeup. So really hope you enjoyed that video. But yeah, I am gonna go now because I actually need to do stuff today. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed that video, guys, and as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye.